Okay, hi, we're back with Pente, the game. We have a Pente board, we have a Pente square class established, and we have a Pente main. What we're trying to do right now is we're trying to get one of the squares to pop up, okay? So basically I have all the information to make one square. If I can just get it loaded and I can get it called and drawn from the board, the game board, okay? So what I'm doing is we have square, right? Okay, I'm gonna kind of put it over here. Okay, this is square, and it's there. It's just I'm not going to touch anything from the last video, except that just to note that for homework, you guys have to make the second crosshair. There's supposed to be a kind of like a kind of a cross inside each of the squares. I'll show you this when we get it going. Okay, I have my colors picked. I was really psyched to make my board square and crosshair colors. Okay, and I'm kind of ready to go with square. So square is going to sit over here. And what we're going to do is we need to make some squares, okay? But what I'm going to do first is I'm going to make one square that's the test square. Okay, so there it is. Okay, I think I got that right. Yeah, okay. So everything should be fine. And then what we're going to do is in here, okay, I'm going to like kind of initiate, this is just for testing purposes. Need, I think it's like 391 of them squares. Okay, so that's what we're going to do right now, but we're not going to do that right now. Okay, so what I do is I got my test square, and in my constructor I'm going to build one. Okay, so I'm going to say test square, because actually this is what I need to know here, right? Is board with pixels, board with squares. Okay, so what I need to do actually here is I need to make the square width. So I'm going to go int board square width, okay? And that's actually a computation that you make based on pixels versus squares, okay? So we're going to compute this. So compute okay, and this is how you do this, is that you would take the number of squares and divide the number of the pixels divided by the number of squares, okay? So it's going to say board square width like that, right? It's going to equal, okay, right? Just QU. Yeah, it's going to equal, and it's going to be like an integer thing. Basically, we're going to take the number of pixels and divide it by the board with squares. So if you need like 10 squares and you have 100 pixels, you're going to end up with like a board square width of 10 pixels, right? Something like that, right? Let's give me an error here. Let's see. Oh, and this is wrong variable. Okay. Okay, so that takes care of that. Okay, so then after this, so now we know the width of the square. We just need like sort of a location for the text square. Okay, so I'm going to go like this right now. I'm going to go test square is going to equal new square, and our constructor, okay, needs three things. It needs an x, a y location, and a width. Okay, I'm just going to like punt and give it like basically 0, 0 in the beginning. So it'll be up in this upper corner, like say for example. And I'm going to give it b square width. So it'll tell you how big the square is going to be. And then theoretically it's got to make one for me. Okay. So, and then what I got to get it to do is draw it. Okay. So that's sort of a thing right now. Okay. So we got to work on the drawing part of it. And one of the things that JPanels do, right, is they can paint. You can paint on them. You can draw on them and stuff like that. Okay, so there's a thing called paint component that gets the graphics object, which is what we really want. So we're gonna make this. I'm gonna override. This is gonna override the paint component in JPanel. So this is an overriding method. And so it's overriding a method of its parents, which we've actually talked about. So we're going to say public void paint component. Okay, if I spell it right. And it gets a graphics object. So the system's going to send it graphics, and we're going to use it. Okay. And graphics has to be imported to this one too, so they both see it. Okay. And then what we're going to do in here is when we test this out, it may have to do something to cause a repaint or whatever. But basically, what it's going to do is we are going to do this. Okay. You remember the background? Let me see. Remember the background that was color cyan? Yeah. What we're going to do is we're going to first do that. So we're going to go set g.setColor to color cyan. Okay. I like that. Okay, it can work either way, but I like the capital N because it's like a literal. It makes it jump out. Okay, and then we're going to say g.fillRec. Okay, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw a big blue circle to see if this works. I'm going to do it. I'm going to fill up the whole canvas with the blue, just like it was before. Okay, and the width of this is let me see. Be width in pixels. So it's going to be be with pixels. Gypsy. Be with pixels. And be with pixels. Okay. And that's gonna paint that. Okay. And then what I'm gonna do is the squares we programmed to paint themselves. So all I have to do is go like this. I have to go test square dot draw me, and I have to send it G. Okay, and so then G will go over here and paint itself. Okay, now I'm going to test it. Okay, so we're all over here, ready to go. I'm going to run it. Okay, and ta-da, there it is. Okay, so what it does is it makes this one little square, and what we're going to do is just keep doing this. So we're going to make them again and again and again and again and again to fill up the whole thing. Okay, now your job is to make the second hash mark for tonight. Okay, so what I want to do is I want to see that. Okay, I won't show you the code, but I'll get mine to work and I'll show you in 1 second here. Okay, so I'm going to go do that. Okay, wrap this up. This is what I got right here. Okay, and the thing here is that you're using sort of relative coordinates for this. Okay, and what I need is I need to get a square done with like a little hash like tag in it, a hash mark in it. Okay, so that's what we're trying to do. Okay, so that's the challenge. Let's see if you can get this done. Let me give you a little bit more background on relative coordinates. Okay, and we'll work with that in a second. Okay. Okay, so this is any board square. Any board square is going to come to it with these like variable locations. Okay, in Java it always sort of draws from this upper left corner. So that's where I kind of keep the X and Y low because you just kind of know where you are with that. And this is just like you could put these in the center, but Java sort of works with these things being up on top here like this. Okay, so you want that. So the trick here to draw this is to use the drawing command, right? And what you want to do is you want to make, you want to kind of know what these coordinates are, okay? So this one's x log, y log, and you have this thing called square width, right? So this coordinate down here is going to be, it's going to be x log, like here, right? So it starts here, but you need to kind of span over this. So the x coordinate of this is x log plus square width. Right? Okay. And then this also is going to be y log, okay? And this is going to be y log plus square width. Okay, so this is going to be y log plus square width. Okay, so that's what this coordinate is. Okay, this coordinate is going to be x log, you guys could figure this out, x log plus square width comma y log. Okay, because it's on the same y location here, right? Okay, and this one is going to be, let's see if you can get this one. Okay, so I'll wait for a second, try it yourself, and then we'll see what it says. And this one's going to be, the x location should be the exact same thing, so it should be like x log, and then it's going to be y log plus the square width. Okay, so given that, okay, what we did was we made these coordinates. Okay, so I made these coordinates, and I said that they were, this one's going to be, okay, this one in the middle is going to be, let me see if we can center. We said it's going to be basically the x location starting here is the same. So you can say x log, okay, because that's, oh no, it's actually x log plus half of the width. So it's going to be plus, and I always said int of square width divided by 2. Okay, and then the y is going to be just 1. Okay, so that if I draw that, and that'll be fine. Okay, this one is going to be down here. Let me get another one of these boxes. The x location is actually the same. Okay, it's just that the y log has to move down, all the way to here, so it's going to be plus square width. Okay. So that's what that looked like, okay? And then what we did was we gave it a drawing command that said, so we have this, like currently right now. Okay, I only have a couple minutes left. So we have this drawing command, and what we said was that, okay, let me get below this. We said in the Java command looks like this. Java command looks like let me say, it looks like g dot draw line, and you need like kind of like 2 xy coordinates to do this. Okay, so you have to give it like a 2 xy. It's like kind of like x1. Java command looks like this. It goes like g dot draw line for like x1, y1, you know, x2, whoa, x2, you know, y2. It's like that. Okay, so you have to give it like 2 of these things. So what we did is we just gave it these 2 coordinates. So we said g dot draw line, and we said x log plus int s width divided by 2, comma y log, comma, same thing here. Got seconds to do this. It's going to cut me off. Plus y log plus s width. So our command looked like that. Okay, and that's like one whole command, and you're going to come up with another one to do. That gives me this line. Okay. So with that that command below here, I made this line. Okay, this gives me this, and you're going to come up with a second draw line that's going to give you the second line. Okay, great.